Hi guys, Ham here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a range of my rigs and how I bait them up. So if you come and have a look at the baits we've got here today, we've got a little carwai here, we've got salted carwai here, that's for the bait blaster setup. Got some squids, a couple of anchovies, some crayfish for moki, and a pilchard. So I'm going to take you through how to bait up, or how I bait up my hooks, in different combinations I do with these baits. And basically you take from it what you want, but some people that are new or don't understand or haven't done it before, then this is a way of baiting your hooks. So first of all, I'm going to start with the bait blaster. So bait blaster, the cannons, if you got one, that's the rig set up there. So you can see how that there will slide up and down. You got your little 4-burrow hook here, circle hook, that goes to your main line, that all goes down the chute, then you shoot it out. Now I use salted bait for this, and right here I've got a little bit of bonito. What I'll do is I'll cut it in a slab like so, cut it thin, so it looks like that. Then what I do is for this one, quite simply, through once, spin it around, through twice, and then I'm going to tie it on. And the reason why I tie it on is because how fast that comes out of the cannon, it can undo everything. So you want to be able to tie that on. Even though it's salted, I still tie it on, so I'll show you the end result of that. Salted carwai, salted bonito, anything salted, salted pilchards, stay on your hook. If it's fresh bait, it'll blow straight off. So for cannons or bait blasters, a lot of things people say is that the bait blows off. Well, you can't go too easy on this bait, buddy. So stick heaps on, almost mummify it. Because once it's out there, she's sitting there for until it gets smashed, basically. So that is how I do my bait. So that there's done up. So if you come close to that, you can see that. So that is how that sits with the barb exposed at the top, and into there. It goes down your chute, you shoot it out, it sits on the ground. That there's floating around ready for the catch. So that's the easy one. All right, so that's your salted. All right. And then before I even bait it, I'm going to bait buddy it. So that exposes the gut cavity. Best to do these when they're frozen or semi-frozen. If they're defrosted, you'll just end up, that will just cut straight in there and get the guts coming out through like mush. So these are best prepared. These are half frozen. I've left them out for about an hour just to get them ready for this video. So you can see it all happen. So basically, again, use as much as you want or can, mummify it, and it makes it better and stiffer on the things, on the rod. Right, so break that off. That there's pre-ready. Okay, I'm going to put that on a pulley rig. So we'll go to our pulley rig setup, which here's your main line there, with the swivel that goes up and down. That there goes to your main line, and then the trace goes into this end swivel up here. And I've got two traces made. Got one trace just with one hook, and I've got one trace here with a keeper hook. So we'll do the keeper hook first. So if you come in close, Flynn, so you scoot that away from there, and you can see how there's two hooks on this rig. So you can see how there's two hooks. So what I'm going to do here, if you have a look, is I'm going to go through and only go about halfway through. Then what I do is I straighten it up and I roll it through so it comes out like that. So now the barb's real exposed. That second hook comes out. Now I'll go around twice, just so it comes off straight, and then through the body, and then it sits like that. Now what I do is I literally tie to the hook. So again, bait buddy, love this bait buddy stuff. I tell you what, presentation, I used to just be a fisherman that you go throw a bit of bait on a hook and go, yep, that'll do it. But I had some success. You still get carwai, they'll take anything, but if you're targeting gurnards and snapper, present your bait well. You know, a little bit of presentation, a little bit of bait prep. There's plenty of ways of doing it. These aren't the only ways, but definitely goes a long way when you have a bit of prep involved. So I'll break that there off there, will do. Alright, so that is your bait ready to go. And then what you do is you slide that stuff there down, because it's got a stopper there, and that's what that looks like. If I'm going to attach that to the rig, then I will attach it, where is it, here, to the end like so, just by sliding that on. There's your rig. Now, because your hook is exposed, come up close and have a look, because your hook's exposed, what that does is then pull down and go underneath that latch. So now that there is ready to go. And notice it's the same way as the main line, so it's streamlined. So when it comes out, it'll shoot across the air, hit the water, come out, and then shoot up the top, and there's your bait. Your sinker's down here, your bait's up there, presenting itself out in the current line, ready for a hit. So that's a keeper hook, how I use the keeper hook. Now if it's just one hook, which doesn't have the keeper, I'll leave that there, which is this one. Notice there's only one hook on it, not two. Okay, then I'm going to do the same action with the now the pulley is exactly the same. You just go through and then tie it up. So I'll do a pilchard this time. So I'll use the tail. So I got an angle. So I cut my tail so it's on an angle like that. And the same thing, I'm going to wrap it first. All these soft baits, as far as mush baits go, squids are right, but pulleys, anchovies, wrap them and then put them on your hook in a couple of wraps. So this is to hold the bait together. The other couple of wraps you're doing is just holding it to the hook. But you really want this bait to stay together like a mummy, so to speak, so it really holds its shape and that gut cavity can empty out and get some nice cuisine for those fish. Get them excited. Okay, so we're there. Where's me one hook trace? Where did that go? Up here. So then what I do here is exactly the same. And you just go through half for me, half and half like that. So if you have a look, you can see that. Okay, and then I tie it to the bait. So what I'm doing now is tying, and I'm tying up the main line. So if I tie it to the shank here, the hook shank, which I've done, so that's tied on, I'm now going to follow it up. Notice there's line there, all the way touching the tail, that line. I'm going to tie that line to the actual fish. So I go up the line, that holds it streamlined as well. Because remember, if you've got one bait on these, you need as much hook exposed to come off the hook at the pulley rig. Okay, there it is there, ready to go. And I can hook that on the same rig, have one pre-baited up, ready to go, hook that on, and now I can do the exact same thing, get it from where I'm going to hit it in the main line. So that's the main line there, and this one here comes down. Alright, so there we go, put that on. Now that there's going to shoot out exactly the same, cast it out, hits the water, comes off, bang, pulls up tight, and there's your pulley out the back. So that's how I do my pulley and my pilchards, one hook and two hook rig. So I'll take that off, so you can have a look at that. So there's one, there's two. So there's one bait, there's two baits. So you've got two baits sitting there, that's the pulley rig. Well guys, now we've got the straight line rig, so more boat fishing, or rocks if you just want to straight line it. So it's got two hooks snelled and up to a swivel, and in there, this one here in particular has a skirt and a couple of beads. Slide those away. Now this one here, what you can do is you can go through here like so, like that, so it's just through the whole body, and this one back here through the tail like so. Then what I like to do, this is just how I do it, you don't have to do it this way, there's plenty of ways you can rig these up, but if you're using a whole pulley or nearly a whole pulley, because what I do is I haven't finished yet, I chop that head off so the gut cavity can come out. So again, I tie, because it's a whole fish, I don't wrap it first, I just wrap it straight to the whole line, so I don't have so many wraps to do in this one. Okay, because it's got two hooks in, no different, like a keeper hook there, get that there going down like so, and then we go up the hook like that, so that there's going all the way through, a little bit over the front just to keep it all together. Okay, up to about there, I'll chop that off, so the gut cavity, and this is how I like to do my straight line, straight at the back. So I do that, then I chop the head off, and then that exposes all that gut cavity. Now it's quite strong there, put that down, I'm casting that out the back, and there is a full pilchard. It's quite soft, so even though that barb just here is just through, you can just see it through the fish, that's quite soft meat, as you can see. They come over, chomp that down, they're still going to get hooked. So with pilchards, and same as my tails, I don't really always go when it comes to pilchard about getting that barb right out. It's squashy meat. Once it gets wet, it's even worse. It's just softer. As soon as they bite on that, the hook's going to go through. So there's my, that's how I run my strain on the cast it out the back and just let it float down, and nice bit of meat waving in the tail with the gut cavity coming out. So that's the third one. Right, get rid of some of these heads and stuff, I'll pick them out later. Right, then we got our snapper girder rig. So snapper girder rig. So this one here I generally put both 1 hooks. Again, slide that away. 2 4-bar hooks on this one. Anchovy, okay. I'll tie first and then tie it on the hook. It's only 1 hook, so for gurnard, they love anchovy, pilchards, that type of meat. They will take squid. So I'll go over a bait combination that I use. Well, I got snapper the other day actually with cheese. So, and we're using this combination. Cheese got his just on pulleys, and I caught the most fish that night. It was on fire. Jamie had a bit of a mare, he didn't get bugger all, but that night you just get days like that. But yeah, no, she was a good night. So that there is your, again, anchovy. This one here, because I'm not worried about a pulley rig, I'm going to go right through. So I go right through up top, spin it, and then go all the way back through the bottom, and have that hook set right up like that, so the barb's right out. And then I'm going to tie just to the hook shank, not worry about the rest of the body. And it doesn't have to be too many, this is just to hold it to the hook, and I go right up the line to the top so it holds it in the streamline when I cast. And that's it there, so that is good to go. So that there will go out the bottom. So this rig here sits like that, with that bit there fluffing around the bottom for a gurney, and the snapper on the top hook up here. So the snapper might even throw a little bit of squid on, so might go for a bit of squid. There's one already at the good size, so I just grab a bit of squid like that. And I'm going to go through, back through, like that. Now, generally people don't tie, I do, just around the shank of the hook. Again, I just like to know that it's still going to stay on there, it's not going to blow off as soon as you get a couple of those light tentative nibbles that take all your bait off. So I always tie it to the shank. That's just me, you don't have to. Some people just stick squid on, cast it out. And then what I like to do with my squid is also like to prepare it by, at the end, notice I've stuck 3 cuts in it. So that there, they can like literally fluff around and do a bit of action like that inside the water. So that there is ready to cast, so that's for squid. And then pull those down over top of it, so you've got a bit of skirt there as well. And there's your rig there, that sits on the ground, your snapper's up there, your gunner's down here. So it's snapper gunner rig, rigging up squid, rigging up squid and pilchard, anchovy I should say. So there's the snapper gunner rig with squid on the snapper part and anchovy on the gunner part, so there you go. Now if you're using carwai, there's some carwai here as bait. Alright, what you want to do first is scale it. So scale it, quickly just scale this a little bit. So you want to scale it if you're going to use for bait. Go in, take a bit off, we'll just cut that bit there, that's fine. This is an old bit that I've had in my freezer for a while. Okay, so the key thing with carwai is to get the scales off. Okay, get the scales off, leave the skin on, go through the skin side, back through the skin side, same as that squid. And I tie it, don't have to, but I tie that little bit there, and then I cut those bits off so it frills as well. So that's how I do my carwai. Alright guys, we got the old Hammond tie double sledger rig, 2 hook sledger rig. So 1 hook of the same, just 1 hook there, and the swivels up here. 2 hooks, just 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bait them up with a bit of pulley. So I've got pulley tail and pulley, we got that part there, right? Rightio, let's go. So first of all, do your pre-tie. So generally the baits I use is my go-to are actually pulleys and anchovies, and I've just started getting into a bit of squid. Obviously for normal fishing, surf casting, definitely those oily baits seem to do the damage on all the fish that I seem to catch. And I've caught trevally, gurnard, snapper, carwai, of course they take anything. So you get a bit of different stuff, you know, around just by using the same baits. Works for most things. So what you do here is you slide that back, exposes it. Now because it's not a pulley rig, you don't need the hook. I'm going to go through twice. One, spin the hook around, go back through again. Two, and then what I'm going to do is just tie to the hook. Now a little bit of bait buddy, as you know, the biggest thing you'll see in these videos, in this video, is I don't go light on the bait buddy. I love the bait buddy, and it does its job by holding that on. Absolutely surf casting, when it hits the water you want that to be able to stay as much as it can. It will move, but try and hold it as much as you can. So there's one bait there, hook that back over, good. Now the belly flap, same thing, bring it over, let's get it prepared. So belly flaps are a lot bigger. These are quite big pulleys actually, to be fair. There's plenty of other ways people will bait their rigs. Like I said, there's no right or wrong, but this is just the way I do it. And there's a lot of people who've asked me, hey, you know, online, Ham, how do you do your hooks? How do we bait your rigs up? So that's why I thought I'd put a bit of a demo on today and show you guys how I do it. Doesn't mean it's always the best way, but it's what I do and what gets us our fish. So works for us, I'm sure it'll work for others. So pull this part here up. Now the belly flap, you want to go through like so, hit the bone, come back out like so. So as you can see, there is the there's the barb there. You can see it just there sticking out. And now bait buddy again, just like the other one, tie it to the hook so it doesn't come off on that cast when it hits the water. It still hits with high velocity power when it hits the water. All right, and there you go. So that's on, ready to go. Put your skirt over top, and that's what that looks like underwater. So you got two baits sitting out the back there with the current line. So generally smash it with those. The two hooks, these rigs do really, really well. So there you go. That's another one baited. All right, so the moki rig is just a dropper rig, tiny 2-bar hooks, a couple of beads. That's it. Nothing too flash. But the biggest thing with moki is finding the spots where they are. If you find a bit of rock into the sand, then you're doing well with that. That's pretty much where you want to be. If you're just on sand or stones in the drop off, it's really when they patrol. Moki will patrol up and down the beach in school, so you really want to have another rig ready, because if they're patrolling past and you get one, they might be able to get another one straight away. Once they go off the bite, that's it. So yeah. All right, let's bait up with a bit of crayfish. So what I've done is I've got the tail here, I've just cut down the middle. I'm just going to take that meat out of it. So we'll just take that meat out of it, which is coming along here. Alright, so we've got a bit of mush meat. Now it is quite mushy, so what I'll do is I'll get a ball. Alright, now what I want to do is bait tie it again. This bait buddy, I tell you, it comes in so handy, so handy. Alright, so now what you do is you just do a bunch of mush really. So you can stick this in between legs of sinkers and stuff, but to be honest with you, it's not that bad to do. You just hold it, get a big ball of it, hold it together, and just like I said before, heaps of bait buddy. So, oh, just about lost it. Heaps of bait buddy. All right. Then once you get that, it starts feeling like a bit of rubber, which it is starting to feel like a little bit of rubber. Then what you do is you break that off, and diddle to put that back on it. It's quite slippery stuff. All right. So from here, what I'm going to do is with a little 2-bar hook, straight through, back through, like that. And what I'm going to do is try and leave that hidden, the barb. For me, I don't like it out. Some people love it out, but I try not to. I try to just tie it round so it just looks like a ball of white meat sitting in the air. I don't really like to expose too much of the hook. So as you can see, that just looks like a bit of a mush on a bit of a hook floating around. They get that, they come in for it, boom. So that's how I like to do mine. And again, same deal, cut through, grab a bit of meat, take this bit of meaty off. Let's get the old bait buddy onto it again. The bait buddy is your friend, believe me. You get to this sort of baits. So bait buddy the shit out of this again. Let's be getting its hold on it. Once you get it started, she's easy. It's just trying to get it started. Spin it over, get the other half. slippery stuff. I told you before, it's pretty slippery, gets away from you. So let's bring that back on. Right, there we go. This hook here, same thing again. Through, turn, go through. Try, leave it up by top if you can, like that. Get that started again, this bait buddy, when we get the tag, which is right there. Okay, hold it up. Now we're onto it. We got it now. Let's just really go around as many times as you can. Really hold it on. This mushy stuff. And there you go. So that there is the moki rig ready to go. So that there is sitting there ready for a moke. So there you go, guys. That's baiting up. Pretty simple. There's no tricks to it. There's no secrets in it at all. It's just simply just knowing what hooks you're using and how you're going to set the bait, whether it's to a keeper hook or not. So I'll clear this off and I'll take you through a combination that I actually like. So yeah, be back soon.